ベストパルズ
So we just wrapped up our playthrough of Silent Hill 2, and I thought it'd be a cool idea to look at my entire Silent Hill collection. I have a couple of the graphic novels, just these two here. I also have several items of merch, various shirts and hats and giant prints on my wall. I wasn't going to pull every piece of clothing out of my closet, but here's the hat. I also have these three guides. This is an expert gamer that features a guide for Silent Hill 1, as well as my guide for Silent Hill 2, which really came in handy while we were playing Silent Hill 2. I'd like to replace it eventually. It is a little water damaged. And then I have the Silent Hill 3 guide that will come in handy when we eventually play Silent Hill 3 here on the channel. Stay tuned for that. We're going to play every Silent Hill game eventually. I also have the 4 albums for the first 4 games. These were really hard to get. They're produced through Mondo, and anytime they restocked them, they immediately sold out. I mean, literally, like 2 minutes after you would get the email about them restocking them, they were gone. So it was a challenge to get them. Luckily, I got all 4. They look gorgeous. The internal artwork is great. The records are like rust-colored. I'm really happy to have these. And if you ever get the opportunity to buy these, I would definitely suggest it. They're great. Listen to them a few times. They're definitely worth the fight and the money. And I also have a couple of the action figures, just a nurse and Pyramid Head. That's it. I'd like to get more, but let's take a look at the games, the thing everybody wants to see. Here is my copy of the original Silent Hill for the PlayStation. There's also a demo disc you can get for this game, but it's like $300, and I'm just not willing to spend that much right now on one, but eventually I'd like to get my hands on that. Here is the Silent Hill Play Novel, which is a Japanese exclusive, almost like graphic novel retelling of the first Silent Hill game. You can make little choices here and there, but it's mostly just like reading the events of the first game, and it was never released in America or in English. But luckily, fans have translated it to English, and you can get reproduction cartridges like this one if you really want to play it in English. Here is Silent Hill 2, my favorite in the series. We just recently wrapped up our playthrough of Silent Hill 2. If you want to see that, go check the channel. We had a lot of fun revisiting this one. I also have the greatest hits version, which is the version we played. We also covered Born from a Wish. Now, when this was released, they took the Xbox version, fixed up a few of the bugs, the lighting, and put it on PS2, and they left in the additional content, like Born from a Wish, where you play as Maria. Speaking of the Xbox version, here it is, Silent Hill 2 Restless Dreams. Like I said, when this was originally released, you got some additional content that was later added to the greatest hits release. My preferred way of playing Silent Hill 2 is the PS2 greatest hits version, but this isn't a bad way to play the game if you have it available to you. I also have the greatest hits version in Japanese. I don't remember where I got this or why, but it's a cool addition to the collection, and it's the only official mainline game I have in Japanese. A few years ago, a fan recreated Silent Hill 2 for the Game Boy Color. It's the Silent Hill 2 D-Make. He never finished it, but it's actually really cool, really interesting. I paid a guy on Etsy to put it on a cartridge for me because I'm weird. I like physical media. And we also played this on the YouTube channel, so if you're interested in seeing us play as far as we could get in it before it crashed, go check the channel. And the next game in the series, Silent Hill 3. This is my only version of Silent Hill 3. I would eventually like to get the PC port. Don't have any of the Silent Hill PC ports. But here is Silent Hill 3, a fantastic game in the series. My favorite will always be 2, and it does have the soundtrack. Great addition to the Silent Hill collection. Here is Silent Hill 4. This game has a fantastic story, maybe one of the best stories in the entire series, but in my opinion, this game is very frustrating. I have never beaten it. I've gotten close, but it gets so hard and it's just frustrating. That's the best word I can say. It's frustrating. And I also have it on the original Xbox. This is actually the version I played the most growing up. My cousins had an Xbox and they had this one. I didn't get the PS2 one till way later. So my DVDs and Blu-rays are boxed up and put away. I do have the 2 movies on Blu-ray. Here's a consolation prize. This is the Silent Hill Experience. It's a UMD video for the PSP. It covers some of the comic books, some of the movies, some of the lore from the games. It's actually a really cool little package. Definitely suggest picking this up if you ever see it out in the wild. Here is Silent Hill Origins. Now this is a prequel that takes place prior to the events of the first Silent Hill. And I think it's kind of underrated. I actually think this is pretty decent, pretty good Silent Hill experience. A little silly with all the different weapons and stuff. But I definitely think everyone should give this a try if you like survival horror games, if you like Silent Hill. It's worth playing. A little janky, but pretty good. Origins was also ported to the PlayStation 2, which is far more convenient to play it, but the lighting is actually way better on the PSP version, so if you're gonna emulate, go with the PSP version. Here is Silent Hill Shattered Memories. This is another one I think is pretty underrated. Fantastic story. The gameplay is kind of lacking. You don't really fight any enemies. Your goal is just to escape them, but it's got a crazy good story. And I actually think the motion controls are pretty decent in the Wii version. Definitely worth checking out. Here's Shattered Memories on the PS2. It was ported to the PS2. I think at time of recording, this might actually be the most expensive Silent Hill game right now. It's pretty expensive. It's pretty uncommon. The Wii version is the one I always preferred, but this is a great way to play it. And it's far more convenient than hooking up a Wii. So, if it were cheaper, I would definitely say pick it up, but it's not for the price. It doesn't make it for everyone. And it was even ported to the PSP. Honestly, I don't think I've played it on the PSP yet, so can't really speak on how it plays, but like I said, the Wii version is the best bang for your buck. Grab the Wii version. Here is the Silent Hill HD collection. This is the Xbox 360 version. It is an HD collection featuring 2 and 3. And unfortunately, they're pretty butchered ports. I mean, for the price, this may be worth checking out if you really want to play 2 and 3. It's better than nothing, but if you have a PS2 available to you, or a PC, and you can get the enhanced edition, and this should be your last choice to play these 2 games. It was also released on the PlayStation 3. And if I remember right, this is the version you want to get. If you're going to play the HD collection, get the PS3 version. It was actually patched, and some things were fixed, unlike the Xbox 360 version. One of the worst games of the series, in my opinion, is Silent Hill Homecoming. Here's the PlayStation 3 version. Now, this game has really good monster design, and the music's not half bad. The story is not great. The combat is really bad. But the monster design's decent. Especially like the boss monsters you fight, those are really cool. It's not great, but check it out just for the monsters. It is also available on the Xbox 360. Still not worth playing, in my opinion. I mean, being that it's on Steam, it's pretty easily accessible and cheap. If you really want to get your Silent Hill fix, I guess it's better than nothing, but it's not great. I actually think Downpour is pretty underrated. It's not great. It's way better than Homecoming. I hate the chase scenes. The monster design is incredibly lacking. But the story's actually decent, in my opinion. And this is the closest we've ever gotten to an open world Silent Hill game. There's all kinds of side missions. You can go into a lot of different buildings and see a lot of different sites of Silent Hill, solve mysteries and set ghosts free. I think it's underrated. Also available on the Xbox 360. Like I said, underrated in my opinion. Go check it out. Here is Silent Hill Book of Memories for the PlayStation Vita. This is the worst Silent Hill game, in my opinion. It's like a dungeon crawler. You create your own character. You fight monsters from the Silent Hill games. It sounds like it would be a decent idea, but it's not. I spent very little time with this game and did not enjoy any of it. I wouldn't mind getting the PS Home or whatever that's called, where you can play Vita games on your television. One of these days I'll get one of those and maybe I'll revisit it, but for now, this is my least played Silent Hill game and my least favorite Silent Hill game. And the last game in my collection isn't actually a Silent Hill game. It's Dead by Daylight, Silent Hill Edition for the Japanese Nintendo Switch. Really have no intention of playing this. I just bought it because it's really cool. It's Silent Hill Dead by Daylight. You can get it on other consoles, you can get it on the PC, but saw that this got a physical release and had to have it. Alright, so unless I missed some, which I very well could have, that was all of my Silent Hill games and some of my merch and other items. We plan on playing every Silent Hill game here on the channel, so if that sounds like something you'd be interested in seeing, subscribe, give us a like. I would really appreciate it. This has been Ben's Game Room, and I will talk to everybody next time.